JC Tickets provides first-class trips to Ravens road games, including airfare, 4-star hotels, game tickets, and cocktail parties. We also help provide great seating locations to all Ravens home games. JC Tickets, where the games begin. Visit us at jctickets.net.
Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, jctickets.net, Geico Insurance, Donaway Furniture, Ocean City Golf Club, RussellStreetReport.com, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Holiday Inn Express, the original Green Turtle, hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome back in the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show right here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio 93.5 The Beach, broadcasting from the Blue Ox Bar and Grill in the Ravens Room, 127th Street in Ocean City with Ravens Roost 44. Give yourselves a hand.
That's more like it.
There you go, Ed. Of course, we want to thank our sponsors, Bud Light, the Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Geico, the Ocean City Golf Club, jctickets.net, RussellStreetReport.com, and of course, Donaway Furniture that presented us with this brand new set this year. We're thrilled about it, so thanks to the folks there at Donaway Furniture. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more personnel with the changes that we've had in the offseason, then we'll preview the upcoming game against the Denver Broncos. Now, that, of course, does mean there won't be a show on September 4th, but we'll be back on the show at September the 11th, just to let you know, right here at the Blue Ox. Guys, a couple of things, of course, off-season, we talked in the first segment. Bolden, we traded to San Francisco. Reed left via free agency to Houston. He's not playing week 1. We don't know when he's going to play, so it looks like the Ravens, hey, they parted ways at the right time. Paul Kruger got an overinflated contract in Cleveland.
$40 million.
Yeah, $40 million. Yeah, as did Donnell Ellerbe. Kerry Williams is an Eagle.
It's like stealing.
Yeah, well.
He hit the Brinks truck.
Bernard Pollard's elsewhere. Matt Burke and Pollard's with Tennessee. Matt Burke and Ray Lewis, of course, retire. Vonta Leach was let go, brought back. Brendan Ibedejo also was let go as well. And but as we stand right now, guys, the issue, you trade Bolden, okay. I still felt confident Dennis Pitta can be your slot guy. He proved that. He had a heck of a postseason. He had a good Super Bowl as well. He gets hit with a hip injury. He's done maybe for the year. They're not officially saying that, but probably for a bulk of the year. Ed Dixon's that guy that 2 years ago caught 51 catches. I'll throw it out to the former tight end. But last year didn't get targeted much, more of a blocking tight end. He's going to have to step up. I thought, and I told Tony this on the radio show, I thought that Ed Dixon was a wild card coming into this year, that he could be kind of, this year we could have a Gronkowski and Hernandez type duo. But it's all on Ed Dixon, and it's especially on Ed Dixon. But he's been hurt most of training camp. He's back now, but he still, to me, is a big key. Even with Dallas Clark in camp now, to me, he could be the difference between getting this passing game maybe to another level that we thought we'd be at anyway this year.
Well, Ed Dixon has more actual raw talent than Dennis Pitta.
Yeah,
so
really.
he just needs to show that and flash it. Needs to execute the plays, needs to catch the ball. Dennis Pitta just has great hands, runs good routes, and there's confidence there with Joe. So Ed's going to have to step up. He needs to get healthy first. He can't be straining his hamstrings. He's got to get that thing healthy and right. But, you know, Dallas Clark is he's a heartbreaker. I mean, when the Colts came to Baltimore, he had the most devastating catch against the Ravens in that
15-6 loss.
Yeah, I mean, he basically iced the game. I don't know who was covering him when he made that catch.
Really tight coverage. I think it was the strong safety.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Anyway,
who was that.
point
It
is,
wasn't Reed.
He's reliable, and you know, I think we have enough guys. We're not going to have any. Yeah, we don't have any superstars out there, but I think ball distribution, some good schemes. We have enough guys to make enough catches.
And, John, I think your point is so well taken. When they drafted Dixon and they saw that he can run sub 4.6, and he's a big guy, they're going to put some weight on him, and he wasn't catching the ball as well, but all that potential is there. And now when you sit there and look at a hamstring, he's still a young guy, but he's got a tear in his hamstring. He's going to have to sit out. You won't see him. I wouldn't think you'd see him at all in this next game. You may hope to see him there. But the league runs 33% across the board, offensive offensive across the board runs two tights, which means two tight ends. And this is what it does to a defense. As soon as you see two tights and two wides and one back, where's the strength of the formation? Is it wide side of the field? Is it to a number? And how are they moving him? With a Dallas Clark, he shouldn't be on the line of scrimmage that much. Sure, he should be in motion. There you had Pitta that you could leave both of those guys and then move them, come off the ball and go back and forth. What I'm getting at, making the defense think over and over again. With that kind of situation, John, you can change the strength of formation 3 times before you even snap the ball.
And Caldwell obviously likes these guys. They're smart, cerebral players. Both Stokely and Dallas Clark played with maybe the best, regular season quarterback of all time. Caldwell knows their capabilities and intelligence, and being smart. When you don't have, we've spoken about this over the years, guys. When you can't beat other teams with pure talent, you need to beat them with something, whether it's preparation or discipline. These guys have intelligence. So we just need to execute without smarting them.
And Tony, that's so important. As I got older, I played into my early 30s and 34, 35 years old. There's certain down distance situations and personnel sets. It wasn't that I still could play. It means I got to where I was supposed to be before the ball was snapped. You should be at 6 yards, certain thing, and then all of a sudden this happens and you end up you start at 8, or you figure out where you need to go because you're understanding what the offense is doing to you, and you can play up. That's the point we're talking about, the Stokeleys and Dallas Clark. They still may not have all that, but they understand it so well that as soon as they see it in nanoseconds, they know where they need to go, and they will play week in, week out, and make the catch for the quarterback, which Joe is really going to need, I think, in the first 6 weeks, especially after we get into Denver, as they go early. He's going to need to have confidence that he can throw the football to someone that will be where he's supposed to be.
Well, I was going to say, to add to your point, when you have guys that can, show multiple formations, I think that Dallas Clark and the combination of him with Dixon is a better combination than Shanko and Dixon, because I think they're complementary in that situation. But you made the point of making the defense think. The more you make a defense think, the more you slow them down. The more you slow them down, the more openings you have. So I think that the speed that Ed Dixon does bring is unique, and I think that's
Tony, that is
use.
everything. That's what offensive coordinators want to happen. Defensive people want to go understand, react. Know your, understand down distance. Know your assignment, react. They don't want that. Oh, this, that, because you don't want those thoroughbreds with all that stuff in their mind, because they can't continually do it for 65 plays.
We need to get into talking about the Denver game upcoming. What we do know, though, wide receiver, we know Torrey Smith is trying to develop into that #1 receiver. He's probably on most teams a 2. We know Jacoby Jones is probably best as a 3. We were trying to find that slot guy, even with Dennis Pitta being healthy, which obviously he's not. But I think that Ozzy's done enough to try to patch things up between Clark and Stokely, and Ed Dixon's the wild card. We may still have enough there. We know the running game is really strong. Yonda's back from shoulder surgery. We'd like that makeup, and it certainly showed in the postseason that that's the same offensive line we're going to enter 2013 in. But a great time to talk about the defense, guys, going into this Denver game. We know Denver comes in. They've added Wes Welker. They've got Eric Decker and Demaryius Thomas on the outside. But if you're Peyton Manning, a guy that looks at tape a lot, studies, he's a studier of the game, he works hard, no question about it. But the defense he's going to see week 1 is not going to be the defense that he could look at last year. When you added Doomerville to a Suggs, that's a pass rush threat that we didn't have last year, and Suggs wasn't healthy. You added Canty and a Spears, the defensive line depth. Haloti Nott is finally healthy. But in the secondary, you've got a Michael Huff, you've got a Matt Elam, a James Ahedebo as well. The stuff that the secondary can do, the backers, you throw in Arthur Brown and nickel guys, our defense can present so much more to Peyton Manning that he hasn't seen on tape. I think the Ravens defense has the advantage going into this game, even on the road in Denver.
Well, I agree with you, Mike, because if you look at Peyton Manning's career, he's a great quarterback, but as he gets older, it's more about preparation and understanding the idiosyncrasies of a defense, and he doesn't know what he's going to see. The Ravens certainly haven't shown anything in preseason. That's by design. So what D&P is going to be able to do, I mean, listen, they know Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning does not know them. And I think that front 7, the Denver Broncos offensive line has gotten weaker this offseason.
They're down to a 3rd-string center.
Yeah, so they've gotten weaker. The Ravens defensive line last year, with an injured Suggs and with an injured Haloti Ngata, and without all the pressure they can bring now, still put pressure on Peyton Manning. So I think that's it. I mean, I hate going out there for opening night of the season, but actually it's a good time to go out there to play him if we got to go out there anyway.
Yeah, this is a great time to play Denver. I mean, you have their defense is obviously taking a hit as well. We're going to need to score some points.
Miller and Doom.
They have a new running back, a rookie running back. They're high on Monty Ball. He's kind of shell shocked with the playbook, a Peyton Manning type offense. So, I mean, you got to wonder where they're going to be with his development, if he's even going to see much time. So you may have no Sean Moreno, who isn't.
He's playing slower.
He's playing slower. Ronnie Hillman's got fumbling issues. So it's a good time to get them. You know, Peyton's they run a lot of plays, so we're going to need to be conditioned and be prepared and get our hands up and do all those types of things, because Manning's going to look to get the ball out quickly.
And Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the key in the secondary here, being a former secondary guy, Jimmy Smith. We know Corey Graham's going to be matched up. We'll see the matchups. Graham's either going to be against Thomas or Decker, but both are very capable outside guys. We know Webb's going to be on Welker in the slot. But Jimmy Smith, boy, this is his time to shine.
It really is, and that's why they drafted him. They drafted him #1. And when you play really good quarterbacks, you have to understand the defensive mentality is you're going to tell your corners starting now, because St. Louis doesn't really matter. Fellas, it's going to be on you. And the front four, however they rush with, we call them rushmen. It doesn't matter whether they go 3 linebackers and 1. Whoever's rushing, if you can get to Peyton and make him throw the football with a 4-man rush, you got a shot, a real good shot. Now, what bothers me is the youth of the linebacking corps. If you show Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, even the kid in Atlanta, if you show them dog of some kind and you come with it and they know it's coming, you're carved up like the expert turkey on Thanksgiving Day, and he will carve them up if he still has the tools when it's warm.
We got 60 seconds. Go ahead, give your prediction.
I'm gonna say, just because I don't know about my receiving core, I think Denver comes back and gets them in the opening game.
Do you have a score?
I think 27-24.
Yeah, I'm going. The Ravens are going to have to score points. I'm going to go with the Ravens week 1 here, but they're going to score 31-27. They're going to need to score.
I'm going to say Ravens 24, Broncos 23.
All right, I'm going to go with the Ravens 24-21 on a Justin Tucker kick. That run game, I think, is going to be important, even though they had the 3rd best run defense. And even without Champ Bailey, that's still a very good secondary from Denver. But they're going to have to make some plays, you're right. But that run game is going to be paramount. I like our defense and the element of surprise against Peyton Manning. Hey, we'll be back in 2 weeks, September 11th, with more of the Ravens Wrap Show on Comcast Beach TV and 93.5 The Beach. See ya.
What's this all about?
We're giving Rich the NFL experience of a goal line dive.
Really?
There's an easier way to get an ultimate NFL fan experience. Just snap the tag wherever Bud Light is sold and you could win. Bud Light in the NFL. Here we go.
Did I make it?
Into the internet, yes. Into the end zone, no.
JC Tickets provides first-class trips to Ravens road games, including airfare, 4-star hotels, game tickets, and cocktail parties. We also help provide great seating locations to all Ravens home games. JC Tickets, where the games begin. Visit us at jctickets.net.